The ultimate cat rapper Jim Jones is at it again. You know, this guy had all kinds of allegations on him for being a rat. He claimed that he was in the gang. His whole crew is locked up in the feds, and he's still out here on the streets. We know that he was on the phone, got caught on an intercepted phone call, giving out orders to go hit somebody in the head. All kinds of stuff, man, this guy had, but he's still on the streets, right? We know that them Dominicans was chasing him and Cameron all throughout New York City, man. But he's at it again, trying to really get into the algorithm, you know, and push this Double Wood album that came out that's not selling nothing, right? And he's doing this by going after Nas, right? Saying that he was better than Nas and check the catalogs and check the Billboard. Well, we checked that and we found out that he was a fraud, right? But all this stuff from when he was on Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast. And he did some stuff to get people talking about him. He did this. So Jim Jones, the world's oldest YN, you know, he's going all around telling the world, hey, I'm still relevant. I'm still here. You know, where the young people, listen, these young people he's talking about that's 22, 21 years old. Listen, when Fly High came out, they was like 3. They're not your generation. These young boys is listening to NBA Youngboy, Little TJ, Little Dirk, all those type of guys. They not listening to and some of them drill cats. They not listening to you, man. You old. You are old. The world's oldest YN, right? So he said check the billboards. You know check his catalog. So we check. So when comparable to Nas has about 6 platinum albums, about 3 gold albums. He has some platinum singles, but then you get to Jim Jones. He has a platinum. We know that Fly High went platinum. We know that the Fly High remix went platinum, right? But then we get to the Billboard chart comparison: Nas versus Jim Jones. Nas 79 plus singles released, 15 plus Billboard Hot 100 entries, right? Hits: I Can, If I Ruled the World, Hate Me Now, right? Jim Jones, 47 singles released, 2 Billboard Hot entries, and that was the Fly High, right? Fly High, and Pop Champagne. So we know that Nas won that by a landslide. It's not even close. It's not even close. But again, he's doing this because remember, he was just beefing with Cameron, and Cameron responded and just destroyed him, right? But he was on there. He was on the shows and stuff laughing because he was trying to push that album. Because see, this is the thing. If he had some form of if he was relevant, he wouldn't have to do all this. He would just drop his album. He knows that he's not relevant, and my son and these young kids ain't listening to him. But he tried this stuff with Shannon Sharpe, and Shannon Sharpe, who was a Nas fan, wasn't having it. And Shannon pressed him, and it got ugly. Check it out.
Life right now, you know what I mean? The more I bless people, the more I get blessed. And it's just a testament of hard work and being resilient and being real with yourself. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
You smoke, right?
Yeah.
Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far as let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo boo when we talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
You said that.
But listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciated him. He had a little bit of run. But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like, he
ain't
never
no
had
shame in that. There's a lot of folks came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us, except for his first album. I already told you, I used to want to dress like Nas because he had a lot of fresh clothes that the hustlers used to wear and shit. I used to see him on TV. He had one of the illest albums of all time. And then in high school when he had the barbecue and shit like that. So I'm a real fan of Nas, but he kind of lost me after the movie Belly and shit like that. Like, I don't.
Man, go ahead on with that, Jim.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm being honest. You ask me, I'm being a fan. I'm telling you, the movie Belly was fire, but after that, he kind of lost me. I think we was way too much into the game. Remember how this goes? You ever heard of a Kofi list?
Yeah.
Yo, go back into your history and find out what happened between us and him. You dig? And I'm not trying to repeat history, but don't play with us when it comes to that, bro. We already went wild on them boys. You heard? We the ones that went wild on them boys, you heard?
Hey, Jim.
Yo, and people out here acting like I said I'm gonna bring the Kofi list back. I just told you I'm gonna change man, Steph law, Key, you did?
Nah, look, I'm put it to you like this here, Jim. Hey, bro, you been at this thing, but lyrically, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Yeah, but
Y'all
look
ain't
how you
effing with Nas.
dress. Look how you dress. You don't even be in the same places I be in. The
But
things that we listen to
I
me.
can be in the church house. You can't F with Nas lyrically. I don't know who told you that. Now look, I know you on that good stuff, but you not seeing Nas.
Bro,
You
it's a
not
bunch of
seeing Nas,
you got
bro.
a bunch of
Let's be
40 and
real.
50. You got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better
It
than
don't
Nas.
matter.
Look at you. Look at
Ain't
you. And
nobody listen. Ain't
all in your
nobody from
feelings.
Dipset gonna take
Shannon,
you over Nas.
that
Nobody
shirt
from the
too.
Diplomats but you.
That
Hey,
shirt too tight.
hold
You
on,
Shannon,
Jimmy,
can't
that
hold
F
shirt
with
on.
too tight.
Nas.
That shirt too
Hold on,
Let's be
hold
tight.
on, hold on, hold on,
real.
hold on.
That
Jimmy,
shirt
Jimmy,
too
Jimmy.
tight. You want to go
Hold
back to
on.
I really mean it? I really mean it started. We could go back
No,
to
but I'm
the
just
history,
saying,
bro.
for you to even
Don't do
say
that,
that,
bro. Don't do that, bro. That
Hold
shirt
on, hold
too
you
on.
tight
said
for you to
it.
be sticking up for Nas.
I got a question. I
Let
got a
Nas stick
question.
up for himself and meet me in a booth for something if we want to do something historical.
He
Other than that, we don't got
don't
to
Nas
talk
say he
about
don't
it.
do that no more. Nas say
All
he
right
don't do
then,
that.
because he got $100 million. He's a very wealthy man. You heard he's a very smart
Hey,
businessman. He caught a couple
I
business
have,
flicks, you heard?
hold on. Jimmy, hold on. I got a question.
I can sing more Nas records than you right now. So
Yeah.
you are capping. You are capping. That's what you're
First
doing.
of all, bro,
You are
I'm about to be
capping. I'm
50.
a bigger Nas fan than you are. You are
Bro,
capping.
first of
And
all,
I still can tell you
I'm
he can't rap
57.
better than me
I
right
don't be
now.
singing no rap. I don't be
Hey,
singing no rap.
You see what I'm saying, Ocho? He don't even know
hey,
about rap. He just doing this for the views to get Jim Jones on there to get him hot. I understand. But you don't
Get
know
him
no Nas
hot.
lyrics. You don't know Nas
You better
lyrics.
check the
You don't
podcast
know
space.
no
hey,
Nas lyrics.
Now you better
Sing
check.
16.
Hey, this
Sing
the
a
biggest
Nas record.
podcast you ever been
Name
on.
one Nas record.
hey,
This
Just
the
sing one
biggest
Nas
podcast you
sang.
ever been on.
hold
Do
on.
you
Hey,
No
know?
other
Do you know
podcast
a
you been
Nas
on bigger than
hey,
podcast?
this one.
I'm not a
We off
I'm not
topic.
a podcaster.
Jimmy, hold on, hold on, hold on.
This what I
Hold on,
do.
Ocho.
You see
Name a
you in your
podcast you been
feelings.
on
You see
bigger
in
than
your
this one.
feelings. You see
When
in your
you get
feelings.
big, you get invited to Club Shay Shay.
This is what I
Hey,
do.
Nas get invited to
You a
Club
pod,
Shay Shay.
you a podcast. I don't
Jadakiss
give a
get
fuck
invited to
about
Club
no
Shay
Club
Shay.
Shay
You
Shay.
hey,
not on that
yo.
level yet, bro.
Bro,
See,
Slow it
we
Club
down.
off.
Shay is for
Temper.
little young white girls. Chill
Hello.
out.
We
Chill
off
out. Don't play
topic.
with me, bro. Chill
We
out.
off topic.
You dealing with the wrong one, bro.
Right here, bro.
I
You heard
don't
me?
care nothing about nothing that shit you got to say, bro. You might as well take me off this shit.
Hello.
We here. You can't out
Leave me
talk me.
alone, bro.
You might can out
Don't,
rap me, but you can't out
nobody,
talk me.
don't nobody want to go to Club Shay Shay. Nobody want to buy no VIP tickets to that shit. Nobody rushing to go to that shit.
Biggest
You ain't got
podcast
nothing
you ever
lit
been
in
on.
Club Shay Shay. You
Hey,
do
If you
got a good
fortunate, you get
podcast.
an invite.
You do got
ain't
a good
nobody listening to
podcast.
me.
The podcast is tremendous. You and Ocho do your thing. But don't get it twisted, bro.
Jim Jones, the world's oldest YN, went on to Shannon Sharpe and told Shannon Sharpe that he's making his podcast hot because he got him on the show. And he's just using him for views. I mean, like Shannon just laid him out, man. Like just laid him out. But again, this guy, he's a gimmick dude. He is not who he say. He's not who he say he is, man, at all. Right? He's not a blood. He's not none of that. Right? He's a dude that peeped the weakness in the game and came out and said, "I'm going to exploit this for money." And that's what he's been doing his whole career. If you go back to the beginning with Cameron, he had beads in his hair and was in the back jumping up and down and doing a whole bunch of weirdo stuff. That's the stuff that he was doing, man. So nobody pays Jim Jones no mind, man. Jim Jones, like I said, if Jim Jones was relevant, he wouldn't have to do all this. He would just drop an album and he would be making all kinds of money, man. So, but it was funny because Shannon ain't back down. Shannon pressed him. And I didn't think Shannon was going to press him like that, but he did. He told Shannon, he said, "You don't hang where I hang. Look how you dress." But Shannon 57. So when Nas first came out, Shannon was in his 20s. You know, if you go back 32 years ago, Shannon was in his 20s. So Shannon was listening to Nas, right? Jim Jones was listening to Nas. Like I said, this dude is crazy, man. This dude is crazy, but I'm going to cut this video short here, man. If y'all made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. All right, remember, I love y'all. Till next time. Peace.